Drea.
Drea O.
Drea O.
Drea O.
Drea O. Drea O.
I'm from Chicago and
I'm with Drea O right now.
Drea O. Drea O.
Beautiful Drea O.
I'm with my girl Drea O.
And she everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go.
It's crazy.
Can't nobody make me think that Cash backdoored my son. I will not believe that.
when Dead Bitches dropped, what did you think about that song?
Girl, I was calling that song Exposing Me Too.
Part 2.
Part 2. Because he talk about the same people, but it's just a different flow.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard Exposing Me Too, when I heard Dead Bitches, I was like, see, I'm a beats person. And I'm a mellow, I like the melody, and I like to dance. Like, if it make me dance, I like it, I listen to it. But I leaked that song to a lot of my, I went on the low end, baby, and I pulled up and I say, listen to this. This Exposing Me Too. Now, this before it dropped. This before I knew that it was called Dead Bitches. So I come in the house one day and I was like, Doug, when you dropping Exposing Me Too? And he talking about, Mom, it's called Dead Bitches. It's not Exposing Me Too. So that's when I found out that it was called that. When I heard that song, like I say, I don't like this song. But that was only after he did Chicago Legends. I say, well, Duck, you know you can't do no more diss songs. And he like, I know, Mom. I know. And then the other little boy came out with talking about Brick. So that made him. Mm-hmm. And I say, this boy, he was just the best at that. Disrespectful. That stuff used to be like you talking about dead people and they ain't did nothing God won't forgive them for. So if all they had to do was confess to God and they in heaven, I just couldn't get it. I tell everybody I did not like his diss music. But the fans did. Mm-hmm. The fans wanted that.
So around that time, he was in a deal. But okay, so I guess one thing that I guess a lot of people want to know is how was the deal exactly set up? Because if he was signed with, he had a deal also with FBG and he had a deal with Sony?
That's what we trying to get to the bottom of. From my understanding, after I talked to Sony, Records Skull is a distribution label associated with Sony. That's who Duck was signed to. When they finally contacted me, I talked to Sarah, she was the A&R, and I talked to Barry, he is the CEO. And they explained to me what was Duck deal about. And from what they told me, they said, because I'm like, why y'all not promoting him? What's going on? Why is no studios, no producers from Sony? But basically they were saying they were scared to work with him. And it wasn't about fear. We already know they picked their side. So that's why he messed with regular people. Everybody Duck mess with that did his own now. From video photographers to people he did features with. He had opened up the door for them because he could have messed with them industry producers and them industry studios and all that. But he didn't because it felt like, during the blackballing, people wasn't messing with Duck. He really bullied his way in the industry, and he really wanted people to see how talented he was. He wasn't just all about drill music. And I'm trying to think, when I talked to Sony, they told me, and I'm scolding them and I'm mad now because it's fresh. My son's death is fresh, so I'm wondering, what is y'all doing? Why y'all haven't reached out to me? If my son signed to you and they said, well, the managers say there was no need for us to talk to you because he is who they did the business with. So I'm like, excuse me? he is who they did the bit, but I'm his mother. Like, wouldn't you want to know, like, where's his mom? Let's reach out to his mom and personally give us, you know, only to be told that my son, like, when my son came home with his deal, he said, Mom, they just cut me $150,000 check. And I say, who, the record company? He said, yeah. So they went to the bank. But Sony told me, Barry and Sarah, that when they signed up, they cut a $325,000 check to, I guess, Clout Boy Entertainment. Now, this is the part where I feel, as his manager, he's gone, his mom, you should want to come to me. Like, what are you hiding? The man told me, well, Duck said he gonna tell you what he wants you to know. He don't want you in his business. And I say, even after his death, I say, if my son did tell you that, which is a lie, because it wasn't shit that boy did, he tell me. That's how I know what my son to do and what he wouldn't do. Because it wasn't nothing that he did he wouldn't confide. He would tell the world, my mama know everything. But this particular stuff, I can honestly say, I didn't really know. But if you got the upper hand and you are able to clear my head, he looked at you, up to you as a father. And for you to say, well, Duck said don't put you in his business after he done died, lets me know, what do you have to hide? My son got signed. You gonna try to tell me that he knew you was getting $325,000 for him and allowed you to give him $150,000 of his money? So that's where our problem come in at. Like, we adults, we can handle this. You know what I'm saying? But see, a lot of people don't know, so they're going to defend him and they're going to steal them stuff. And then I'm going to come in and say, well, did you know this? And did you know that? Oh, y'all stay in y'all lane. Let the adults handle this. Kids, stay in y'all lane. Because just like y'all love y'all daddy, my kids love me too. Mm-hmm. So if the adults can't sit down and talk like we broke bread together, like this man been around my son for the last 12 years, looked up to him as a father, trusted him. And this how you would do somebody that you trust. Like, what is your purpose? Like, what other reason you would think that you ain't said, come on, Sheena, we finna go out to dinner. I'm finna show you what this country. The man say, this my business, Sheena. I don't got to show you nothing. And it's concerning my son. So that's why I beef comes with Cash. I love them kids to death. I'm going to put this out here. Can't nobody make me think that Cash backdoor my son. I will not believe that. You will have to show me. You will have to have and bit of proof. Like, you got to show me, because can't nothing in my heart make me believe that them boys who he called his brothers, who he loved, who he brought around his mama, who he broke back, it has something to do with that. Knowing, you can't help if a person knows something and find out something, because the streets be talking. But to be actually involved in that, you could not make me believe in a million years that them babies had anything to do with my son's death. He went downtown. He left my house. Then no girl set him up, all that goofy stuff. He laid on my floor. Day before my granny's birthday, we finna play cards. That's all we did. If he wasn't in the studio, he was playing cards. He wasn't on no blocks. He was out west with Lil Chris. Like, Lil Chris was with every day for the last 2 years. That boy was at least in the studio 10 or 12 hours a day. He'll come home. I'll be asleep. He didn't want to drive out to his house, so I'll wake up with his big-ass apple in my back and be like, gone. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of... He was a mama's boy. Like, that sucker crawl in the bed with me. He don't care how late, what's going on. And I'll wake up and I'll see him on the side of me and I'll be like, He tired. He had a long night. It must have been one of them nights. But
So, I recently sat down with Cash and did an interview. Did you see?
seen it.
Yeah. And it really stems from just all the rumors of everybody saying things like the backdoor situation and everything else like that. What do you think when you hear rumors like that his friends had something to do with it? I mean, you just spoke on it, but like, what are your thoughts when you hear people say Cash?
What was weird to me about that, like, because these kids gonna do what they want to do anyway. Now, after losing Duck, and for whatever reason, he did what he did. But for me, after losing Duck, for him to rep somebody that allegedly supposed to have been behind what happened to Duck was weird to me. It was weird to me. Like, I don't understand it. Like, and then I started getting more into it. I started hitting the internet. Then I see this video with Duck and Billionaire where Duck is dropping lies in the video. Now, Billionaire and 51st Father's that stuff, they never got along. But Duck had these people together. Like, he was the glue. Like, when Duck was around, these people that didn't like each other could really be around each other. And when nothing happened. And when nothing happened. But that was so weird to me on Cash's behalf. And then he doing Look, Cash is funny. He always been a comedian since I've known him. TJ has always been funny to me. That's what he do. He a funny guy, you know. And I love them kids to death, man. Like, you just cannot unlove these kids. So I never, I never want to believe that. But that was what's weird to me on behalf of it, because it's like they getting offended or mad as the people who going hard for Duck. Like, not saying that they getting mad like Ruger. And I don't even know who this Fendi boy is. I never even met him. Like, where did he come from? But he's going around going ham. But this is something that I guess the fans and everybody expected FBG to do. Like, Duck, y'all supposed to be, it's supposed to be a Duck-a-thon, a Duck movie, everything. But the people weren't seeing that. You know what I'm saying? I know better. You know, the fans or whatever, who they weren't seeing it. They seeing him like, yeah, they had something to do with it, because why he repping Melly? Melly was his friend. Melly was Duck's friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that stuff is so crazy for me, because Melly have been to family gatherings where he have been to my house and played cards and gambled at my house. So all this stuff, like, it's weird to me. It's weird. I'll just leave them rumors, baby. People who believe rumors is just as dumb as the people that spread them. You can believe some stuff like that without having proof or knowledge to what happened for real. So I didn't fall into that stuff.
Drea, 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 oh, everywhere you go, everywhere you go, Drea, oh, everywhere you go, everywhere you go, ooh, Drea, oh, everywhere you go, everywhere you go, Drea, oh, Drea, oh.